Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Like I told you earlier on, there are subjects which are interesting and there are subjects which are important. Parliament, democracy are subjects which may not be very interesting, but they are subjects which are very important to our life. The question that I want to ask tonight is finally, who is responsible to run Indian Parliament? Let's get right into the show. So let me give you some facts and figures. Our parliamentary productivity this time around in this monsoon session was Lok Sabha was 21%. 21% was our productivity. Rajya Sabha was 29%. This is according to the PRS legislature survey. 21% Lok Sabha, 29% Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is supposed to function 6 hours a day for 19 days. That is what it's supposed to do, and so is Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha incidentally functioned for 21 hours in this entire 19 days, and which it was supposed to be functioning for 114 hours. So what was supposed to function for 114 hours, it worked for, the Lok Sabha worked for 21 hours, and the Rajya Sabha, again 114 hours, worked for 28 hours. Rest of the time, the Rajya Sabha was disrupted. Now, let me tell you some other figures, some other facts and figures. According to a report of Indian Express, Indian exchequer, Indian taxpayers lost around 133 crores because these legislatures, these lawmakers didn't function, didn't allow the parliament to function. Now, I'm going to get into some more details. I'm going to tell you the bills that were passed in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha in this monsoon session. Ministry of Ayush, 2 bills were passed. The National Commission of Homeopathy Amendment Bill, which was passed on August 10th in Lok Sabha, 11th in Rajya Sabha. National Commission of Indian System of Medicines Amendment Bill, 10th of August Lok Sabha, 11th Rajya Sabha. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. The Constitution, 127th Amendment Bill, 9th of August Lok Sabha, 10th Rajya Sabha. Now, mind you, I had done an editorial on this 127th Amendment Bill. Do watch it if you get the time. Ministry of Finance, Taxation Law Amendment Bill, August 6th and August 9th. Tribunal Reforms Bill, August 3rd and August 9th. The Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation Amendment Bill, August 9th and August 4th. The General Insurance Business Nationalized Amendment Bill, August 2nd and August 11th. The Appropriation Number 4 Bill, July 28th. The Appropriation Number 3 Bill, July 28th. The Insolvency and the Bankruptcy Code Amendment Bill, July 28th and August 3rd. Ministry of Education, the Central University Amendment Bill, August 6th and August 9th. The Ministry of Tribunal Affairs, the Constitution, Scheduled Tribes Order Amendment Bill, August 9th and August 5th. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the Limited Liability Partnership Amendment Bill, August 9th and August 4th. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the bill was Commissioning of Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and Adjoining Area Bill, August 4th and August 5th. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, the Coconut Development Board Amendment Bill, August 4th and July 30th. Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, the Inland Vessel Bill, July 29th and August 2nd. The Ministry of Defence, the Essential Defence Services Bill, August 3rd and August 5th. The Airports Economic Regulatory Authority of India Amendment Bill, August 29th and August 4th. These were the bills. 11 ministries got roughly 18 of their bills passed in this particular monsoon session. Now I'll come to something more interesting. But before that, I want to reiterate that fact that bills, when they are passed, they get turned into act, and act is law. These are the bills that will decide our future. what we do, how we function, how are we going to tackle our disasters, how are we going to tackle pandemic, how are we going to tackle our lives, how are we going to tackle economics, how are we going to tackle lives of our people. These bills decide that. Normally, like I told you before, I repeat myself, normally a bill is discussed in the parliament, debated in the parliament, and even after that, these bills are given to parliamentary committees. Parliamentary committees consults experts, industry experts, they consult experienced bureaucrats, and finally this bill comes back to the parliament, discussed again, and then these bills are supposed to be passed. Why? So that these bills are effective. Why? Because these bills concern your life. It concerns your life. It concerns your future. It concerns the future of your children. It concerns the future of our country. That is how the bills are supposed to be passed, and that is what happens to a bill when it goes to the parliament. Now let me tell you this particular monsoon sessions, how bills were passed. I spoke to you about the airport in Rajya Sabha. Let me first start with Rajya Sabha. I spoke to you about the Airport Economy Regulatory Authority of India August 8 Amendment Bill. It was passed in 16 minutes. The Deposit Insurance Credit Guarantee Corporation Amendment Bill was passed in 16 minutes. Limited Liability Partnership Amendment Bill 2021 was passed in 23 minutes. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Bill 2021 was passed in 39 minutes. Now, this was one of the most highly discussed bill, that is 39 minutes. Let me go further. Inland Vessel Bill 2021, 35 minutes. Coconut Development Board Bill, 1 minute. Factoring Regulation Bill, 7 minutes. Juvenile Justice Bill, 5 minutes. Marine and Aid Navigation Bill, 8 minutes. Now let's go to Lok Sabha. Commissioning of Air Quality Management in NCR Bill 2021, 8 minutes. Coconut Development Board Bill, which is now in Lok Sabha, 4 minutes. In Rajya Sabha, mind you, it was discussed for 1 minute. In Lok Sabha, it was better, it got 4 minutes. Tribunal Reforms Bill 2021, 9 minutes. Essential Defense Services Bill, 15 minutes. General Insurance Business Nationalization Amendment Bill 2021, 8 minutes. Airport Economy Regulatory Authority of India Amendment Bill 2021, 14 minutes. Inland Vessel Bill 2021, 6 minutes. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Bill, now this time discussed in Lok Sabha, 5 minutes. Appropriation number 3 Bill 2021, 3 minutes. Factoring Regulations Amendment Bill, 13 minutes. National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management Bill, 6 minutes. This is possibly one of the most unfortunate thing for our country. Most unfortunate thing. Because end of the day, the people who we spend thousands and thousands and thousands of crores, that is what they spend in elections, right? The representative we send into the parliament so that they can make law for us, which makes our life better. This is how they tend to make laws for us, and this is how our laws are made. 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, half minute, so on and so forth. You see, it's actually insulting our democracy, it is actually insulting our votes, and it is actually insulting us. Now let us ask a few questions. My question number 1 is, who finally controls, whose job is it to run the parliament? Opposition blames the government. The government blames the opposition. End of the day, in this ping pong match, who loses? The public loses. I go back to my question. Whose job is it to run the parliament? Let us not get this very diplomatic answer like it is the member, everybody put together, the opposition and the parliamentarians and the opposition and the ruling party, all of them should come together and run the parliament, because at the end of the day, when you come into the parliament, there is no party, it is only members of the parliament. All that is factually correct, and that's exactly how it should be. But that's not the way it is it? So if it is not, then who runs the parliament? You see, the government of India is responsible to run the parliament. They have a minister for parliamentary affairs. The government of India is supposed to be ensuring that the parliament runs smoothly, because parliament is a place where government answers the opposition. The government's job is to ensure that they satisfactorily answer the opposition's questions. No matter what the question is. Finally, the person who is sitting there has been nominated there by the constituency that he represents, which means by the people. And that's what democracy says. So if he is nominated by the people of his constituency, which means that democratically he is representing that constituency, which means the government has to answer what he is asking you for. The government has to answer that. If they don't, this is going to continue. And it is not that the Bharatiya Janata Party, when they were in the opposition, has not done it. When Bharatiya Janata Party was in the opposition, they would also come to the well. And rightly so. They would also oppose a lot of bills, a lot of policies. Rightly so, because that's what an opposition is supposed to do, isn't it? So when they do it, it is right. When others do it, it is wrong. It's not correct. Of course, the opposition also needs to understand that, you see, if this is the kind of time you spend for passing a bill, because, the opposition is busy jumping into the well while the bills are getting passed on one end. If the opposition doesn't understand this ploy, then there is something wrong with the opposition too. So to that extent, the opposition also needs to understand. But the opposition's job is to oppose. That's what their job is. Their job is to debate. Their job is to find the flaws in a bill. That is their job, and that's what they do. Okay, this is one point. The last point I wanted to make is, finally, I want to know, who does the Prime Minister answer to? The Prime Minister doesn't take a press conference. The Prime Minister doesn't give interviews to normal media, except for people who he wishes to answer. The Prime Minister doesn't answer. Now, the Prime Minister doesn't answer even in the Parliament. He just gave a speech. He didn't answer the public representative who possibly wanted to ask him questions on behalf of the people of India. He didn't answer them. So finally, who does the Prime Minister of India answer to? Is he beyond being asked any questions? Is he beyond all that? Can't he be questioned? Is that what our democracy has come to? So this is the point that I wanted to make today. And like I said, these are facts that every Indian, the last common denominator in India should know this. And the last person in this country should understand that this is where his democracy is going. 2 minutes bill, like 2 minutes Maggi noodle. Till I see you next time. Namaskar.